Hi, this is Joseph. It is Monday. It's May 16th. I have a couple of announcements for the trade copier service. So let's go to the refund policy. This is to answer a couple of questions that I've received over the weekend. Just another reminder, my refund policy, it's a strict refund policy, but basically it states that if I fail to earn a profit in 30 days, I will refund your purchase price. So let's go ahead and go over here to the FAQ page. This is another question that is a question that I get pretty regularly. So it's right here. It's on the right-hand side, and it reads, how many trades do you execute per day and per week? So again, I say this all the time, and I say it in a lot of the videos when I start talking about how many pips I can earn in a single week or in a month. Last month we earned over 3,000 pips, and one of the first things that I said to all of my subscribers was, well, I can't do that every month. So when I was making the updated videos along the, each month or each week during the month of April, I would state in those videos that I can't do, it might not be like that. Like it just might be totally different. Things might totally change. It might go sideways. Price action might move into really tight ranges of consolidation. I mean, you can kind of tell, after a while, when you've been trading for a while, you can kind of see the changes in the market. So if you've got any chart reading skills, you can take a look at, let's say, April, right? And you can see that on the majors, let's say the euro dollar, pound dollar, they were in a pretty decent trending move to the downside. I mean, it was pretty consistent, and that provided me with a lot of opportunities there. And then the dollar yen moving to the upside pretty consistently, that also did that. I mean, it was almost like parabolic, right? It was like straight up for quite a while. But that's not happening now. You can see that if you just look at the charts, you see things are starting to move a little bit sideways, and we're getting some days where there's quite a bit of consolidation. So I'm a very, very patient trader. And one of the questions again is, and I get this all the time, how many trades do you have every day? Well, it's very, very possible that there could just be one trade, maybe two trades on a particular day. But maybe the next day it might provide 4 or 5 trades, or maybe even 6. I mean, there's no way to know. Or the second day could actually be similar to the first day, which would be, let's say, 1 or maybe 2 trades. So that is, something that we all have to deal with. It's just the way the markets work. You got to take into consideration holidays too. I'm not saying that, right now we're in a holiday season, but during holiday season, I'm also trading a lot less, like Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, things like that. So the market has definitely changed. It has moved, if you look at the Forex, it has moved more or less sideways. It's not in that consistent uptrend or downtrend, depending on which currency pair you're looking at. Now, to offset that and to help all subscribers get more trades, what I'm doing now, and I'm initiating this and implementing this into beginning this week, is to trade US 30, to trade oil, and to trade gold so that there's more opportunities. Not always, but in very many situations where Forex starts to go sideways, I can trade US 30, right? Sometimes there's going to be a little more activity or more opportunities there. And then sometimes it won't work like that. Like every month, every week is different. You have to be prepared for that. So I just want to help you get your expectations in line so that if you're going to use my service, I don't want you to be disappointed. I want you to get the best use out of my service. I've been trading since 2000. And I've offered this trade copier service since 2007. And one of the primary reasons that I began offering trade copiers was to help my coaching clients and the people that were joining my chat room back in 2007. I actually had a live chat room where I was calling out trades live in the chat room. But some of those people were at work and they couldn't attend and stay there all the time. So a few people asked me, would you mind using a trade copier? Like that would be great for us. So I started looking into trade copiers. Now, the other thing that I want to mention, and I'm not saying that this is your particular situation, because I don't know you personally, but everybody's looking at different things online when they're researching, trying to use or figuring out whether they want to use a trade copier. And I know that many of you are trying to get through the funded evaluation process to get a funded account, whether it's with FTMO or any other company. Now, some of those companies have different rules. Not all of them are exactly the same. And there are some companies out there that offer funded accounts that don't want you to hold during the rollover period. Other companies don't want you to hold through the weekend. So I do my best to close out all of my positions before the rollover. And I do my best to never hold on to a position through the weekend. I don't like doing that anyway on my own personal accounts. All these trades, by the way, go into my own personal account. So you know for sure that, I feed my family with these trades. I got a really big family. I've been doing this for 22 years. So any trade that I execute on my platform, in my account, is going to be the same trade that you get. So you can rest assured that I'm trading it carefully. Like, I'm not going to blow up a trading account. I can't afford to blow up a trading account. Now, I do want to cover and address the question that I get every once in a while, which is it possible for you, or they're asking me, they're saying, Joseph, is it possible for you to make $100,000 for me in a month? And I know where that question is coming from. First of all, it's a peculiar question, and it kind of bothers me that somebody would ask me that, because I can't tell. Like, I don't know what your account balance is, and everybody's using something different. But I'll tell you, getting a funded account, like if you have a 200K account, like, these are real possibilities that you can make a lot of money. The first thing I want to say, though, is if you are watching some of the videos from some of the guys that are posting on YouTube and their YouTube channels about, their ability to withdraw $40,000, $100,000, it is possible. I want to say that it is possible, but you probably know, and many of them admit, that they're using extremely high leverage, and that is not sensible. Like, no professional trader. Let me use some professional traders that you might be aware of. So let's take, Paul Tudor Jones, for example. I know these guys are in a different class. I know they're not trading accounts that are the size of your account, so they have to do things differently. But look at people like John Bollinger and other people. They do. John Bollinger, I'm not sure if he still operates a private fund, but he did a few years ago. These people don't trade the same way. These professionals don't trade the same way a lot of these 21-year-old kids that are passing these funded challenges. And these funded challenges, these guys, these kids that are doing this, they'll admit that they're using extremely high leverage. And they don't recommend that you do it because it's dangerous. And they also, if you watch their channel, some of them are transparent and honest enough to tell you that they've blown up trading accounts, because they do blow up trading accounts. Ask John Bollinger, for example, and I pick him because I met him. I actually studied with him in his seminar in Los Angeles many, many years ago. And I'm a big fan of John Bollinger. I don't really use Bollinger Bands anymore at this point in my career. But anyway, I just pick him because everybody knows who John Bollinger is, because they know what the Bollinger Bands are. But anyway, you wouldn't expect him to do the same thing that these guys that are driving the Lamborghinis are doing. And if you were to ask him, he would tell you. So don't take my word for it. Like, listen to other people. So be careful. Be careful if you've got ideas coming into using a service like mine, thinking that you're going to get the same results that these kids who are trading these accounts, making $40,000 to $100,000 a month. I just want to get that very, very clear. I want you to be really prepared for the kind of results. I'm very, very careful. I'm not super conservative, but and I am aggressive, but not recklessly. What I mean by aggressive is that on the days that I know the market is providing a lot of opportunities, I will step up, and we could potentially have 3, 4, or 5 trades. But when the market's inside of tight ranges of consolidation, like, I'm not going to be firing off trades left and right. I don't scalp. I'm going to be really, really careful. So I didn't really have too many opportunities this morning on the euro dollar or the pound dollar until a little bit later in the session. I did have an initial trade on the US 30 right away. I think it was about maybe 10, 15 minutes after the stock market opened. And that's a pretty good time for me to trade, right, according to my system. So it's very safe, and I was able to trade it right into that solid support level. You probably saw it if you looked at the US 30. And then it bounced, and it kind of went sideways for a little while, and then it went back up and then came back down, all that kind of stuff. So when it gets choppy like that, you can't keep firing away at trades because you start giving back profits. Not every time, but that's what usually happens. And I've learned over 22 years when to stop trading. So I'm very, very careful. I don't want to give back profits. If I can hang on to my profits and, come back again tomorrow and do the same thing, eventually the market, all of them, Forex, US markets, indices, commodities, they're going to give us these big trending opportunities. We just have to wait for it. So again, last month I made over 3,000 pips, but I can't say that I'm going to make 3,000 pips this month. Like, there's no way that I could say that. And I want to bring to your attention that if you're looking at my website on the homepage, these are just targets, right? I mean, there's no guarantee and there's no profit here that I'm going to make 300 to 1,000 pips. Last month, I earned over 3,000 pips, and nobody was upset that I made 1,000 pips. But on a slow month, and we've had them. If you're relatively new in this business, there really have been times where the market has gone in really interesting tight ranges of consolidation where I was only able to safely earn 300 pips for the month, approximately. It was a little bit more than that, but that would be on a really slow month. And again, I don't blow up trading accounts. I don't blow up trading accounts because I'm not scalping all day long on the 5-minute chart, and I'm not using 20% of my account balance to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not, and I know, and you probably know that that's what a lot of the guys that have these big YouTube channels with a lot of followers and they're taking out $40,000 a month, that's what they're going after. They do eventually, and many of them admit that they blow up their trading accounts. But with the money that they're getting, they have enough to try another challenge and then try it again and try to make, to avoid those mistakes. In situations like that, many of them have admitted that it's kind of like they're really controlling their risky behavior. And when it gets out of control and they get on these days where they're, doing really well, and then they just keep going and going and going, and they don't stop for the day. Sometimes I've watched these videos, I've seen them, and they'll say, man, if I just would have stopped trading, I wouldn't have blown up my account, but I couldn't stop for the day. I don't do that. I mean, come on, if you've been trading for 22 years, you got to learn something, which is, and Jim Cramer says it all the time, right? I mean, you see that big sign that says stop trading. I remember the first few times I saw that on his show years ago, and I posted that I printed it off and I posted it on my wall in my office, and I had to learn like when to stop trading, like when to just stop. There are times when you need to just stop trading for the day and lock in the profits. Like, it's just going to go into tight ranges of consolidation. Again, if the market starts to take off later in the trading day, sometimes I will avoid that because it may be getting closer and closer to that rollover period, and some of the funded some of the funding companies, they don't want you to hold through the rollover period, and I have to be sensitive to these rules so that I don't disqualify some of my subscribers that are using my service. So please understand that if you see certain behavior that doesn't make any sense to you and you would do something different, well, you know what rules you have to abide by. But I'm trying to abide by all of the rules that I know of from all of these funding companies. So keep that in mind. I'm very, very careful, very, very cautious. I'm trading the same accounts. I have accounts at multiple companies that offer funded accounts, and I've passed and qualified. And then, of course, that's how I learned about all of this, a while back. I mean, my coaching clients were using funded accounts, and they asked me to do it for them, and that's how I got into it. At first, I thought it was BS. A lot of what I saw was guys driving Lamborghinis, and I thought, no way. I mean, these guys are 21. They say they've been trading for like a year and a half, and not that they couldn't, but I could tell by the way that they were describing what they were doing, it didn't make any sense. And then I figured out what they were doing, and they explained what they were doing. They're using extremely high leverage. It is almost borderline gambling at that point. I mean, it is taking really high risks. And when you do that, you start pushing the envelope, right? You start really pushing these levels where you're getting into a very uncontrolled environment, and you could easily blow up your account and wipe out everything. And I will not do that. I do not trade that way. I do not trade the way a lot of these young guys who, are trading crazy. I can earn 1,000 pips on average. That's usually pretty consistent. But again, by no means is this a guarantee. And 2 to 5 trades, well, there could be one trade. I mean, if we're doing during Christmas or the New Year's holiday or any other time, let's say that there's a major meltdown in the markets and it's really difficult to sort of find a good entry without experiencing a sharp retracement that would stop me out. Like, I got to put a stop on these trades. So, I'm not going to use anything more than 30, 40, 50 pips on a stop. And if it looks like it's going to retrace sharply, then I'm going to have to avoid that trade. Other people may not, but I will, because I have to protect my account. I have to protect my subscribers' accounts, and I know they're trying to get funded. So again, stick with it. Every new subscriber is going to get a free month. That's why I pause all of your monthly charges. I automatically log in, me or Michael, we log in and we pause it so that we can give you full 60 days. We want you to get a full experience of the trades, what you could expect. You can try it 1 month and see what it's like in 1 month, and then try it again the second month, and you're not going to be charged for the second month. We give you a free month. And then at that point, after 60 days, then you can continue with your monthly payments or cancel at any time. You're not obligated to continue. So I try to be as transparent as possible. But now I just want you to know I'm adding more than just these 8 currency pairs that I typically trade. I'm also including US 30, oil, and gold. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to have trades every single day on those. Again, I mean, be realistic. There are, some days I don't get any trades on euro, dollar, and there's some days that I don't get any trade in gold. You know what I mean? It just happens. So just be prepared for that. Don't expect that because I'm adding these additional markets that there's going to be multiple trades like in Forex and these, commodities and indices all the time, like every day. It's not going to happen. It's just an opportunity for me to, when the Forex market, like I said earlier, the Forex market's going sideways and slow, I can provide more opportunities by looking for them, but I'm not going to force them. There's no way that I'm going to take a trade on US 30 if there just simply isn't one, and I still don't see one on euro dollar, pound dollar, or dollar yen. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. You have to wait. So very patient. I've been doing this for 22 years. I would never trade anybody's account any different than I trade my own account, and I have to put food on the table every month. So just want you to know that that's exactly what you're going to get from my service. Want to be as transparent as possible. I'm not reckless. I will not. The other thing I want to mention is that it doesn't matter what lot size I use because you can adjust the lot size when you connect your account. You will actually be selecting the lot size. So again, it doesn't matter. My lot size will not affect your lot size in any way because you can specify the lot size that you need. And you need to know that because you don't want to overexpose the capital and blow up your account and then not be able to get your funded account if that's what you're going for. Thanks for watching.